So a lot of people are asking about ringgit right now and why is it strengthening? It's really a bit of a disbelief, right? Just about, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, it was about one US dollar to 4.8 ringgit, and today is $1 to 3.8, right? It strengthened so much, more than 20%, and people are asking, is this a scam? Is there some political reasons behind? So I'm going to try and debunk it right now by sharing some of the insights I have. Why is Malaysia actually strengthening against USD? Well, truth be told, it's not strengthening against USD. USD is weakening. And is it something that is temporary? No. If I told you that there was this big conspiracy theory behind and the weakening of the US dollar was actually a strategic move, would you guys want to hear more about it? I'm sure you would, right? So let's roll back to the year of 2025, just last year. There was something that was actually created called the Mar-a-Lago. Yep, it was named after the big resort that Trump owns, the Mar-a-Lago Accord. This accord actually created with the great intention of reducing the strength of USD. Yes, you heard me right. Why? Because he wants to bring back more businesses into US. The intention of the accord was actually to design in such a way to do two things. Number one, to weaken it so much so that it'll be easier for people to bring more manufacturing and more jobs back into the US. Cheaper money means companies can spend more money in the US as compared to, let's say, in China. Why do people go to China? Why do people go to Vietnam to set up their factories? Because labor is cheap, cost is cheap. So why do they not do it in US? Is because, of course, US currency is strong, it's high, it's expensive. So his intention with the accord was actually to reduce the power of the US dollars so that it becomes cheaper for people to start manufacturing and make America great again. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why US dollar starts to see its depreciation. And if you actually notice, in many of the interviews with Donald Trump, he gives a very blatant, neutral, can't be bothered look when people are worried about the US dollar depreciating. The other reason why he actually had the accord out was also because he wanted to reduce the debt. Now think of it this way, cheaper US currencies means, okay, you could sell new bonds, new treasuries, okay, new countries at a cheaper price, and people would buy into it, giving it a better interest rate, I'm assuming, and then he would cover his old debts. So that's the reason about US. But then again, let's now come back to Ringgit Malaysia. So now you know why it is strengthening so much about US. But then you're saying right now, hey, okay, DMT, Ringgit is also strengthening against Yuan. It's going against Singapore dollars. It's going against many of the other regional currencies out there. So what's the deal there? The real truth is Malaysia and its economy is strengthening. If you look in the past few years, right, especially 2020, since 2023 till now, so 24, 25, okay, the market has been rallying up. Even in the worst of times, even during the turbulent times, or if there's tariffs and wars all around, okay, market has been consistently growing. The Bursa is at its all-time high, right? As of early of this year in 2026, right? Many of the last year and even the year before, there's been huge rallies as well. Most of it driven by foreign direct investments, FDIs. FDIs last year was declared to have one of the highest with more than $1 trillion put into the market. So now the question you're asking is this: why is everyone bringing money into Malaysia? What is so attractive over here that is actually getting more people to come? Well, is it going to be another 1MDB scam? Is it going to be another JLo going out there partying with Paris Hilton, right, in this scam? The answer is no. The real answer is organic growth. There is actually economic value in Malaysia that tons of money is driving in here. And one of it, guys, is in the space of AI. Right? So we have pioneered since 2023 the promotions, the marketing of AI, and to offer a space for AI to have its house here in Malaysia in the form of data centers. Yes, I think most of you already know this, especially in Johor, and of course in Selangor itself, you have seen many being set up. Okay, and it's one of the big driving force in Malaysia economy that's pushing more and more people to come and invest over here. Now, you may not understand the scale of it, so I'm going to give this to you in a breakdown. There's a chart that I'm going to show to you right now that basically shows what is not just currently, but in the upcoming future. So if you look into this right now, for the next 5 to 10 years, right, we are bound to have more than 2,000 data centers that's going to be set up in Malaysia. Now, these are all contracts, of course. This is not guaranteed, of course. But if those even half of that comes true, that's about 1,000 data centers, 1,000 more than any of the countries in Southeast Asia. As of today, we're approximately number 3 in Southeast Asia. But at the end of this year and climbing up in the year of 2027-28, we should then start to rally up to be the number 1 position in Southeast Asia. Okay, if all these contracts actually come true, we should or could potentially be looking at the number 1 data center hub in the whole of Asia Pacific region right now. So what has this all to do with Ringgit Malaysia? You know, a data center is not cheap. It is not something that costs only a few thousand ringgit or a few hundred ringgit or a few millions. Data centers requires billions of ringgits to create, right, and to build. It is huge infrastructure developments, right, and land developments and building developments and support. Many of these data centers requires all these fundings to come from, yes, you guessed it, overseas. So many of these big countries, from Microsoft to Amazon, okay, to in China, right, many of these big companies are now bringing foreign currency into Malaysia. So think about it this way, right? Microsoft coming in and putting in 1 to 10 billion. Amazon is putting in another $7.5 billion. All right, Nvidia is coming in another 10 billion US dollars. Now, can they build data centers using US dollars? No, they can't. They have to convert it into Ringgit Malaysia to pay the local contractors, to make the local developers to buy the land, to pay for the local resources. So as they convert USD to Ringgit, more USD chasing less Ringgit. In other words, demand is higher than supply. What happens when demand is higher than supply? The price of supply goes up. Hence, that's why Ringgit Malaysia, which is demands are huge right now due to the huge inflow of FDIs into the market, is now creating a stronger Ringgit today. So yes, you and I now get to go and shop into Japan or Singapore at much cheaper rates thanks to the economy growth in Malaysia, thanks to the foreign direct investments that are coming in consistently. Do we see this to be something that's going to die in the next few years? Well, let's hope not. We can't say anything much about the future, but if with the current projections of the data centers continuing to grow in Malaysia, and of course all the other auxiliary businesses that may come and spin off from there, we would say that the future is pretty bright. So how does the local Malaysians actually benefit from this? If you are just a person who is working right now, work harder and be proud of the fact that the country is actually developing much better, right? My always goal to you is to save more money, get a much more stable job. We actually enjoy high return for many of our investments. As a matter of fact, EPF in this year of 2026 has announced 6.15% returns, right, which is significantly high. But again, year after year, it's actually produced more than 5% returns. So if we keep ourselves in an environment whereby returns and investments are relatively positive, you don't have to go to Singapore to work anymore. Those people who are in Singapore, maybe you may want to consider coming back to a country whereby the country is actually growing and help build this country to be a better place. And by doing all this, you enjoy a stronger ringgit. You can take that ringgit and proudly go overseas and spend it and know that you're getting better bargains overseas as well. Let's talk about the short-term benefits of this. Many people still don't know about Ringgit Malaysia. We are a lesser known currency. So if I were you and I want to know how to benefit from this, I would look for arbitrations in products outside of Malaysia. Let's say, for example, iPhone 17 Pro Max costs about 10,000 ringgit over here, right? If you go into South Korea, you look into Japan right now, which the currency may have depreciated more than 30% right now, you may get a difference or savings of maybe up to 1 to 2,000 ringgit just due to currency exchange, Forex, right? You could be selling for USD at a different price over there, and you could go out there and get that arbitrage. So if you want to get short-term benefits from it, go overseas and do a shopping and find out the difference in prices, right? You could get well, for all you know, you could get an iPhone 17 Pro Max for only 8,000 ringgit in Japan before converting the currency. Bring it back over here and of course, don't get caught by custom. And then after that, go sell it here and make your extra 1,000 to 2,000 ringgit. But the same may happen for many other different goods, but because of the ringgit appreciation. So go ahead, go do a happy shopping over there if you want, profit it, bring it back over here, all right, and sell it over here, or you could give it to gifts to people like me and I'll appreciate it much more, okay? So happy shopping.